All right. The next step is that we prepare this piece to be re-glued to the neck. And part of the preparation to make sure that we get this thing glued properly is to clean everything up. As you can see, it would have been great if that break was nice and straight. I'm not sure if that rhymes or not, but it sounded pretty cool. This little protrusion right here is end grain from the neck, and you can see obviously that that's going in a different direction. So what we have to do is make sure that these are going to mate well with the pieces of end grain that are remaining on the neck. But the point of this little segment is that you see all this little glue boogers over here and all this shiny stuff. Where the shiny stuff is, that's glue that was not properly mated to the other piece up here and on this side. So that's easy enough. We just clean that off with the razor blade, maybe a little bit of sandpaper, but we don't want to change this. We want to keep it nice and flat and straight so that it matches up with the other side very well. The elephant in the room is this weird, ugly gray junk, which I guess is like auto body filler, Bondo, something like that. But we're going to have to chip this stuff off or sand it off or get it with a razor blade preferably, just so we can take the minimum of material possible, and then we can figure out how we can build that up. What I'm trying to avoid is having to saw this piece out. Come on, where are you at? There you are. What I'm trying to avoid is having to saw this piece out so I can put a piece of wood in there. That would be a big pain in the booty. So I'm trying to prevent that. And if I can just get this layer off, then I can use an appropriate material to fill this back in. Because it's not going to expand and shrink at the same rate as the wood. It's not very wood-like, and so it will behave poorly. And when you have pieces that don't move together in a joint, that's a bad idea. So here we go, cleaning this stuff up. All right, check it out. Over here, I know this looks gross, my big old thumb, but over here I just wanted to show you how easy it is to work this material. That you just got to take that glue off. You just got to kind of go slow and steady, and it'll come. So that's what we're doing. All right, you know what I say, a sharp blade and a steady hand. So we used a razor blade and some files to clean up the glue from this part and that part right there, and now we have a nice flat surface that's going to mate very, very well once I do the same thing to the other side of the neck. Which is that. Oh! No, but it'll be fine. And here we are taking a look at the neck. That's the end piece. This is kind of where it broke off originally up here. And so we're going to do some cleanup on this section to make sure that they match up well with this. La 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 la. Oops, sorry. With that. La 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 la. So we're going to make it so that it fits on here real nice. And the whole issue I was talking about before with the end grain with that is that it's going to match up well with this. So that's going to be the kind of challenge. So we're going to be orienting some fibers. We're going to be moving some stuff around to make sure that they'll fit together well. Now we've got that piece of the neck more or less cleaned up, and so it can mate well like that. So we got a pretty good match in here like that. A pretty good match, good enough for us. This is going to work out well. Look how ugly that is. It's going to be pretty, don't worry about it. Now you got the same deal back here. There you go. That fits together all right. Look how ugly that is. That's okay. I'll make it pretty. And when I'm sure of what I'm doing, and I've tried it a few times without the glue, I go ahead and glue it up. I know I'm using a lot of clamps, but this is a very, very important joint. This is the actual scarf joint that's being re-glued. Now these C-clamps don't have a ton of pressure on them. Most of them is on these little blue clamps, just to make sure that everything stays aligned properly. And we should have a good result. I'm going to let this sit for about 2 days before I start to mess with it. So I'll see you in a little bit.